evening, everyone. Thank you for this amazing panel, Sheikh Atba, Dr. Abdallah, Dr. Ibrahim. It fits very nicely what I'm going to try and do. I've been given the most risky slot because I'm going to try and do something live. And in order to do this live, you actually need your phone, and hopefully the technology works. If you could scan this code on the screen, please join us in some collective thinking and gathering some collective wisdom in the room. So there are 42 people already on the system. I can see that here in the corner. And hopefully we'll get that number up to the number of people who are in the room. This is just a quick practice question before we get into getting some... Move the chair. Oh, we're going to mess up the panel for next time. If the code doesn't work, menti.com is at the top of the screen, and there is a numerical code there, 16369646. So we have 67 people online. What I'm going to try and do within 15 minutes is to see if we can distill our future hopes and dreams for Qatar into one practical action that you're going to take out of this room today. And 15 minutes is very short to do that. So I hope you're up for some creative thinking. We also have AI working with us in the background. And again, doing live technology from the stage is always risky, but inshallah it's going to work well. So, excellent. Imagine 5-10 years. I loved what I just heard about everybody who's on the ground of this land contributes to the future of this land. One thing that we have learned from working on culture creation in over 70 countries around the world is we are always creating culture. Every human being who meets another human being is always creating culture. Everyone in this room is part of creating culture in Qatar, in some way or another. And the question is, are you intentionally doing it? So imagine 5-10 years from now, what is Qatar going to look like? What is it going to feel like? What is it going to sound like? How does it behave? I'm going to ask you just for a few seconds, think about that. What is that? What does that look like? And I'm going to put a Mentimeter question on the screen where you get a chance to just pop a few words on Mentimeter. So 5-10 years from now, what does Qatar sound like? What does it look like? How does it behave? What does it feel like? Okay? So let's see if we can gather as many ideas as possible. Let me initially hide the responses, so you're only looking at your future vision. So let's see. Okay, 7 people have already answered. So any word, any thought, could be a feeling word, could be a behavioral word. Anything that comes to mind. I'm looking at the counter in the corner there. Let's see how many responses we can get. And of course, these responses are anonymous. So we're just adding to the pool of intention, desire, how we want to see the future to take shape. Okay. Eventually, we're going to take this and distill it into what are you going to do? Okay? And when you think about culture creation together, it's very easy to be busy with what concerns you And in the world of today, there's a lot of things that concern us. But what we want to do in the next 10 minutes, 9 minutes, is be busy with what you can control. Because culture creation is really all about what you can control and what you can do right now, what you can do when you walk out of this room, what you can do in the next few days. Okay, let's see if AI allows us to get a bit of a feel for some of the language. So let me show you what people have contributed, lots of different ideas. So I'm going to use AI to see if there is a trend in the room, okay? If there's things that we have in common. And hopefully it's not going to let us down tonight. Well, one thing that did work is there are a number of themes that definitely have come to the surface, okay? So some of you have commented on things related to leadership, and I'm very happy about that because that's what this event is all about. Others have looked at technology, that is inclusivity, innovation, and at the bottom here we have culture and green. Okay, so there's definitely some commonality in the room in terms of the themes. So the next thing I want you to think about is if one of these themes is inspiring to you, what is potentially something you could do tomorrow related to those themes to create the culture in Qatar that you are aspiring to? Okay? So think about that just for a minute. Pick one of these themes and say, here's what I can do. This is in my control. Here's what I could do to make a difference. And don't make it pie in the sky. Make it something you can actually start doing tomorrow. Okay? So pick a theme, think about it, and I'll pop another Menti question on the screen where you can actually type in the action you want to take tomorrow. Okay? So once you've decided on the action you want to take, type it in. Be bold. It's one thing to think something. When you start typing it out and when you start saying it to other people, it starts to manifest and it starts to become much more real. As I mentioned, every human being is always creating culture. And what you are typing right now will shape culture with the people you meet on a day-to-day basis. Starts at home, circle of friends, colleagues, society, and we have 41 people that have posted something. Okay, let me see if one more time if there is a way to generate a summary. Maybe it can push through this time. And while it does that, I want to do one more daring thing. I want you to actually turn to your neighbor and say to them what you posted and ask each other, how will you make that a reality? Okay, so turn to one or two neighbors, not more than that. What did you post, and how are you going to make that a reality when you go back to life tomorrow? Okay, thank you for that. let me bring us to a close here. I would love to hear what you have discussed and what you're going to make a reality. And obviously it's exciting to talk about it because I struggled to get your attention back, which is amazing. That's great. Don't forget, you're always creating culture. Every time two human beings meet, you're creating culture. And it goes all the way into nation building. And we all have a role to play. Every interaction makes a difference. But you need to be intentional about it. And I love the fact that these themes have come up. Most of the time, there is these subconscious themes that already are existing. You just don't know that they are there. And we've seen that. There are certain things that are important for a lot of people in this room. And bringing those themes alive and saying, here's what I am going to do tomorrow, is what starts to create a movement of positive impact. So thank you.